Hello and welcome to Flip Flop Tabletop,
a collaborative comedy D&D podcast where two friends take turns playing the same character and making up the world as they go along.
Nice.
Thank you. I feel like it was my first time saying that, and I'm pretty happy I
It was
blasted
flawless.
it out.
No flaws here. We're tumbling through to the ground floor.
Third episode, man. We are like, oh, we got a groove.
Third, but third plus 0.
Oh yeah, that's true. Also, that shitty one we threw out right at the very beginning. That no one will
because
ever
I was chewing gum.
Chewing gum, and there was also wine glasses clinking. We've come a long way as podcasters.
But it's a lot less fun.
God, this is like a job now.
It's just a chore sitting in this little hot room with you.
God, I could go some gum.
I was just thinking, wouldn't it be nice if fans don't make noise?
Yeah. Or if I didn't live next to a railway track.
So we can open the window.
That would be good. No, not this time, Sam.
Anyway, you don't need to know that, but that's just what you do need to know there is we are a little bit sweaty. So if you get a kind of musky sense from this episode, that's why.
You hear like bubbles forming as we open our mouths. That's sweat.
Anyway, so where are we? What happened last time? Exciting stuff. We had some combat. We had some adventures. We had dark paths being trod.
Portals, unicorns, had everything.
It really did have everything. There was a stone, a magic key. I'm glad that we're only 2 episodes in and we've got a magic key of some sort.
That's good. That's a lot of power for Rowe to have, and I know he's going to love that. I think he's going to struggle not to use that.
Is he power hungry?
I think so. He's certainly got a lust for adventure, and like a magical key that opens a portal to another world is pretty adventurous.
He's also got. I mean, I feel like he's got a bit of a. He's got a menagerie around him now. He's got himself a little pet dragon. He's got a watercracker, little faithful friend.
Yes, he's got Quinlan there. I don't know how he feels about Quinlan.
He still doesn't have a good weapon or anything.
No, I wonder if there's a weapon selling person in town.
It's strange you should say that because Weapon Sellikos, the weapon seller, is in town.
I think I've figured out the format for your names.
Yes.
Right. Well, it's your turn to DM yet again, and my turn to be Rowe. I feel comfortable.
We're taking turns, Freddie, all right?
That's how it goes. That's very much the essence.
That the business starts already.
No, I feel comfortable back in Rowe's skin, to be honest. I feel good. I feel like I have the purest rendition of his voice. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. The thing about my voices is, I mean, they're energetic, but they do wander a lot, like towards the end of the sentence.
It's hard to keep it up, isn't it?
Okay, friend. Would you like to leap into this wonderful adventure of ours?
Absolutely. I can't wait. Let's go.
Jumping. Okay. It is approaching dawn in the forest outside of the sleepy town of Kidneystone. You're a tired little guy there, buddy, because you've been out all night facing
trees.
Yeah. And discovering your lord and master, Mr. Twinkle Fancyfeet.
Yeah.
And you've just returned from having seen your lord and master disappear through the portal. You've just returned to Watercracker, your friendly little donkey, and you've just introduced him to the dragon that sits on your shoulder.
Yeah. Do they like each other? Do they know? Do I get to decide that?
I think. Well, I mean, what are you doing? I mean, yeah. Maybe roll animal handling. Let's see what happens.
So I think I want to put Bestie on Watercracker's back and see if they hang out. That would be my ideal. I feel like Rowe's quite worried about this because he loves both of these creatures.
The
So
twin
if they don't
forces
get
in his
along-
life.
That's right, yeah. They're very much the pillars of his character at this point. Like 2 episodes in, that's pretty much all he's got. So
I've heard of the 7 pillars of wisdom. Now we have the 2 animal pillars of Rowe.
all right, I'm rolling this shit.
Do it.
19.
I think that you skillfully managed to insert the tiny dragon. Perhaps there's a carrot that you've kind of dangled from the from the familiar as you kind of introduce it to the donkey. The donkey with a bit of a snort and a bit of a, it's still a donkey, stubborn.
Yeah. I mean, of course.
Doesn't show obvious affection, but pretty
Happy
good
with
reaction.
it. But Bestie is really into Watercracker.
Yeah, what does Bestie say? What's
Watercracker. And climbs up his mane, kind of like pulling himself up along the mane there and just hangs out.
his main man?
Yeah, he's his main man. He if I'm traveling on Watercracker, Bestie hangs out in the mane of Watercracker, and that's his jam.
Cool. So he just kind of wraps himself in there, or
Yeah, and makes it. He's like.
Little
I
nest.
imagine him to be quite investigative, and maybe sometimes he'll hop up and fly around, but then very much loves being in the mane, nice and cozy. Maybe wraps himself up in the mane like a blanket.
Lovely. What a delightful picture that you are weaving with your words.
Thank
there,
you. Yeah.
As this dragon is weaving a nest. All right. So Quenlin, trailing you back through the forest, looks out at the dawn with a slight smile tugging the corner of her mouth, having seen the delightful picture of a grumpy donkey and a naive dragon becoming good friends.
Besties.
Besties, even, if you will.
Nice.
And says, Rowe, I noticed that the dawn is approaching. We best return our 2 crackers. Watercracker and Firecracker. Our equines.
Right, equines. I think we agreed last time, yeah. Equines.
Our
My name's Rowe.
equine crackers.
Okay. I mean, it really pains me to send a Watercracker back, but I mean, you're sure we can get him again if we need to, right? You've got a way in.
But I mean, they're just in a barn, Rowe. I mean, I'm quite a
I'm sure it's
competent
locked
adventurer.
though, right? You wouldn't lock up a beautiful donkey like Watercracker. I mean, you wouldn't just leave him unlocked. Someone would definitely take him.
Yeah, he's clamped at night. Don't worry though, I know. I know I have lockpicking tools, and I can open the barn and get the clamp off his legs.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, as long as I'll be back for you, boy.
So I think she begins leading her horse, and you. I mean, are you following? Are you getting you mounting up as well?
Yeah, reluctantly, I'll lead Watercracker back towards the barn.
Okay. I mean, as she's going, I think she says, obviously you could just take him back to the barn, but I mean, you could also, you could try and buy him if you want, if he means that much to you.
It's funny you should mention that, actually. I'm a little strapped for cash last night. I had a bit of a blowout a couple of days ago, but this reward money is definitely Watercracker money in my eyes, so I will be back. I'm not too worried, but absolutely that is my plan.
Okay.
You see the love here.
So what did we agree? It was
20 gold is the average donkey price. Well, between 10 and 20, I think.
No, but what I believe the reward was 20 gold pieces.
No.
No, it wasn't it?
No. It was 100, you said, and we would split it
60-40. Oh, are you sure it wasn't 80-20?
Yes.
Obviously that was Quenlin trying to get one over rather than me forgetting the amount.
Does she need to roll? Is there a roll involved there? No. I refuse to accept 80-20.
What, you're refusing to roll now? I haven't
Yeah.
told you to roll.
No, I'm just saying yeah, you're right. No.
Okay, now you have to roll.
Okay, I'll roll it.
Okay.
What am I rolling?
Roll persuasion.
Persuasion.
To convince her that you are right in correctly remembering it as a 60-40 split.
I think it was 50-50 we agreed on, actually.
All right, and I'm setting the DC accordingly.
Okay. 12.
You were going for 50-50. She was like, nope, definitely not 12.
Oh.
Sorry.
Maybe it was 60-40 then.
Was it? Are you sure it
Definitely wasn't
80-20?
80-20. No.
All right, let's see if it was 60-40.
That's a natural one.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, Freddie has just rolled a 1. Yeah, no, I'm convinced it was 80-20. I think you're misremembering it, Rowe. I'll get 80 gold pieces and you'll get 20 gold pieces.
That's barely enough for Watercracker. Come on.
Sorry, Rowe. That was the deal that we made. I don't want a reputation as a deal-going backer on her.
You're a deal changer.
No, I'm not. If anything, she's just a bit forgetful.
Yeah, grumble.
You were the one who wanted to roll.
Thing is, I know that's enough for Watercracker, so I'm going to go with it. But, man, my opinion towards Quinlan has changed. Markedly changed.
Okay.
I'm going to be kind of passive-aggressive for the rest of the adventure with Quinlan.
Okay, so I think you uneventfully managed to make it back to town. There's a slightly awkward silence now. Quinlan has picked up on your passive aggression. All right, Rowe. I'm sorry. I suppose this is why I often adventure alone. I mean, this is really what led me to QA in the first place, because I mean, it all starts out with grand dreams, and then you end up haggling over the Spider King's hoard.
I guess so. I mean, I just think 50-50 feel... No, it's fine. I don't want to go over it again, but... No, I just think people should be treated equally.
I tell you
It's
what.
fine.
I'll make it 70-30.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Rowe. So, do you need to rest, or should we go and see the Burgermaster? What's your...
What time of day is it?
Okay. So I think it's about half an hour after dawn. The town of Kidneystone is starting to show a bit of activity. More activity actually than you'd expect. Like, definitely more activity than the last time you woke up in this little town. And that was even mid-morning. So, I mean, it's like 6:37 and people are already up. They're bustling. They're bringing tables outside. People are like climbing ladders and putting up bunting. People are coming from out of town, and so you've noticed travelers on the road as you've kind of approached Kidneystone. People are herding in flocks for the day. It's some sort of market day, feast day sort of thing.
Quinlan, do you know anything about this? You're from here, aren't you? Are you from here? Or you just live here?
I do know this is it's a feast day. I mean, I'm not from here. I mean, when you like live in a place for ages and then you're just kind of like, oh, people are like, oh, where are you from? And you're like, oh, it's easier just to say Kidneystone.
Yeah.
You know.
I say Wellington when people ask where I'm from in New Zealand, even though it's obviously not true.
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of claim to be a Kiwi despite being born here. It's
yeah,
easier.
that's true.
After that little biographical break.
Hey, we're real people,
We have lives.
We've got lives outside of Rowe.
Quinlan says today is the feast of the chubby goat.
That's adorable. I'm already into this feast.
Well, wait until you meet the chubby goat, because he does not let you down.
Wow, this town and its adjective animals. I love it. Villainous swans, chubby goats. It's great.
It is true. So, like my naming, you really figured out my animal techniques here.
I've never really seen a chubby goat.
No,
they're always so lean.
It takes a lot of work.
This has got to be kind of... I mean, I don't want to get RSPCA on it, but I mean, it can't be healthy for a goat to be chubby.
Wow, I mean, fortunately, you don't know what they do with the goat.
Tell me.
Well, they've been fattening it up, and now today they're gonna cut its throat, bro.
Oh no.
You're not a vegetarian, though, right? Are you?
No, I mean, I eat meat, but I mean, it just seems so gratuitous to kill a goat in front of a bunch of people. I don't know. It's not very brave. to kill a goat you've fattened and weakened, made slow. Like, that's not a lot of...
Oh, no, they give it a knife, too.
They give it a knife and some heroin.
Yeah,
No,
they-
not heroin. So the opposite drug to heroin. What's the opposite of heroin?
Like maybe some
P.
yeah, some PCP,
speed.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a crazy goat man, and I'm chubby.
no, they do. So the town elects a champion, and then...
Champion, you say?
A champion. And then they tie knives to the goat, to its horn and its tail and around its back. And then they set it loose in the town. And then it's the champion's job to slay it before it stabs too many children.
Wow, I mean, that sounds, obviously, first thing, easily avoidable, the children death. But actually, yeah, it sounds a bit more fair now. I'm coming around to it.
Okay, well, let's...
Goat's a fucking menace.
Just because he's chubby doesn't mean that he's good-tempered. If anything, he's furious about his weight gain.
That is a bit of a prejudice I have. I assume someone's chubby that they're friendly and nice. But not always the case.
No, sometimes. I think we've both learned something here today, Freddie, and I think that's what these barbaric festivals are about. It's about reminding people that at the end of the day, even chubby people can be psychos.
That's a really roundabout way of teaching that message. But,
I mean,
okay.
There's so much wisdom in the folk ways. I think you really have to live here for a time to understand that.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, obviously I need my reward money. I need my water cracker. He's my lifeblood. He's my shining star. So that's next on the agenda for me. But, I've had quite a long night. Maybe at the very least I need like a Bloody Mary or something. Or maybe one of Emma's special firewaters. Something for energy.
Okay, well, let's...
Do you fancy a quick tomato juice?
Quinlan nods at you approve.
You dabble?
I think it's kind of been it was quite awkward there for a bit. There was the haggling. She kind of tried to roll back on it, and I think she was starting to regret like how this had ended. And I don't think she necessarily really wants a drink. You've never actually seen her drink, but she kind
That's
of
true.
She feels the moment and just goes, oh, she knows that this is a gesture, and she says, Rowe, that would be really lovely. Let's go and get morning drunk. You and I.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, if we're going to chase this goat later, got to stop those deaths.
Are you thinking of nominating yourself as Kidneystone's champion, Rowe?
I'm going to definitely take a look if I don't think anyone else is up to the task.
Rowe, let me just warn you, this goat is a cold-blooded bastard. Like, be careful before you step into the ring with the knife-wielding goat.
I just killed a tree. I'm ready to move on to a mammal.
Okay. Yes, I mean, I suppose
It hasn't got any formal training though, right? It just has knives on it. Like, it's not like it's practiced. How often does this happen? Like, if you tied knives to me and made me run around, I probably wouldn't be any more effective than I am now.
The goat is cunning, though, and have you ever seen goats? They just climb on roofs and up trees, and, I mean, the real problem with the goat is not so much we actually make it chubby because stealth is its ally. We're trying to slow it down, otherwise it killed too many champions.
Okay, well, I'm going to get that goat. I'm trying to make this work as a joke. This gets my goat. I'm going to get that goat. Yeah, I think that worked.
That's really good. That's a very funny. Come on then, let's go and get a drink, you
All right, let's do it.
Man. Okay, so you having had this fun little conversation, so you've kind of, I assume you're almost at the barn now. So you come to the luxury barn first, and you can see the crummy barn on the other side. Quinlan takes a lockpicking kit, a little velvet roll out of the interior of her leather armor, and she kind of fumbles around and comes out with some files and some picks, and she plays around with the padlock for a moment, and then she leads Firecracker inside and takes off his saddle and starts to brush him down, and she backs him into his stall where
She brushes him down.
down
Oh.
and back. Well, otherwise he looks sweaty and uncomfortable.
Yeah. No, that's nice.
And then she carefully takes a yellow wooden clamp, which has been hung on the side of his stall, and attaches it to his leg. What do you do, Rowe? What's your vibe?
I guess I reluctantly lead Watercracker in and give him so much love, and I just like hold his face and just say, "I love you, boy. I'll be back for you."
Okay, I'm gonna get you to roll. I'm gonna get you to roll persuasion.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out a carrot as well. Does that change how many dice I get to roll?
Go on, have advantage.
Yeah. Just as well. 15.
Okay, so I think after handing over the carrot and really kind of getting into it, you look deep into the soulful brown eyes of the donkey who, I think, somehow you manage to communicate across to him that you'll be back and this is temporary and that you love him. And the look of betrayal and hurt leaves his brown eyes, and contentedly he stomps into his cell.
Good.
Cell, yeah. He's a prisoner.
Does he get clamped?
He also gets clamped. There's a clamp sitting on top of his cell. Are you going to put it on him?
I do, and I say, "I'll never shackle you, my friend. Except just now." Clink.
Good times.
All right, let's get out of here. This is making me sad.
I think hiding any signs of your entry and your exit, Quinlan and you leave the barn, she locking it behind you, and you can hear in the distance a low, sad bray of a donkey.
Come on, Quinlan, let's go.
Oh,
I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
As you round the corner of the barn, the old barn that is sitting next to the new barn, you notice a farmer walking across the field towards the barn. So his approach was totally obscured by the old barn, so he hasn't seen you loitering. He just sees you on the road.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'll keep walking
past
him and just say, hey there.
Why?
How you going?
Oh, good.
You going to the goat festival?
Aye.
Oh, wow. Cool,
He
man.
says,
I see that.
10 years ago, I headbutted that there fat goat. And he kind of lifts up his straw hat, and you see that he's got a huge scar on his head. Stupid thing to do now I think back on it, actually.
Has anyone ever beaten that goat?
Aye.
Who?
Oh, sorry, I meant no.
Oh, well, today maybe.
Yeah.
You watch this space. Is that a thing you guys say around here? We say that back in Notice Board. Watch this space. We're a notice board driven town, so watching this space is quite.
So there's space on the notice board, is there?
Yeah, watch that space. Soon there'll be a notice there.
Why don't you just write it on the notice board?
Well, because, it's to like generate hype. You wouldn't get it. It's about marketing. Don't worry about it.
It's marketing day here today. That's why all the flocks are in.
People are going to market.
Yeah, it's
market day. Okay, well, top of the morning to you and all that.
Top of the morning to you. Gotta go and feed my animals. Give them, don't know what's been happening with them, actually. They've both been off their, Firecracker's been off his feed lately.
Oh, really?
Yep, but his food isn't
What's Firecracker, a cow?
Oh, no, sorry, you wouldn't know that. My name is... Exactly. What is my name?
It's hard to remember your name on the spot sometimes.
My name is Barrion.
Barrion. You almost went for quite a normal name, but then you fantasied it up at the end.
No, it's Barrion.
Barrion. Okay.
And Barrion, I am a farmer of crops.
Yeah.
And also animals.
Okay.
And my horse is named Firecracker.
Firecracker's a horse, okay.
And I call him that because when he was a little foal, I took him and then I threw him into a crowded room, and there was a bit of an explosion of people because a confused, angry horse was among them.
Why did you do that? That's not cool, man.
I regret. I used to drink a lot.
It's your
in those
job to be
days.
in charge of animals.
It is. It is.
You need to take them more seriously.
What can I say, stranger? Those were bad times. I drank a lot, and I am afraid that horse has never forgiven me.
Okay, well you take good care of your horses or any donkeys you might have, anything like that. You take
I
good
do
care
have a
of them.
donkey. His name is
It's not Watercracker, is it? The other one's called Firecracker.
no, it's definitely not called Watercracker.
That would be a good name for
That's
him,
kind
though.
of quite a stupid name.
It's a good
actually.
name.
What is a Watercracker?
It's like a kind of biscuit.
Oh,
And it's
it
the
is,
opposite,
actually.
fire, water. It
That
makes
is-
sense. You
that
should
is-
consider that.
No, I call him Slippery.
Nah, that's not a good name for him.
Slippery Pete.
That's not a good name for Watercracker. I mean, for that donkey.
Sorry, did I say Slippery Pete? I meant Slippery Nipple. His name is Slippery Nipple.
Oh, facepalm. Facepalm comes across, Rowe.
Okay.
You're not fit for your job, Cyril.
Sorry.
See you maybe at the market.
I'll see ya. I'll be the one not headbutting the goat because of previous lessons learned.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah.
Slippery nipple, I'm writing down. Reluctantly.
Whatever you do to that donkey, it'll always secretly be named Slippery Nipple.
You ruined my Watercracker.
Okay, so by this time you've walked and conversed your way into the main market square, where the preparations are even more obvious here. You can see townsfolk who are all dressed in. They're also wearing a kind of a particular festival outfit.
Is it goat themed?
It kind of is, right? So they're all wearing white, and around their waists, they're wearing like hanks of goat hair. You know, like real thick, long goat hair.
Wow.
In these kind of little skirt belts around them, and each of them have a black neckerchief tied around their neck.
Wow.
Black and white. People are putting up black and white bunting everywhere.
It's a bit intense.
Yeah. I mean, this is the festival of the chubby goat. I mean, anyway, the market square that you recognise, fronting onto it, is the familiar frontage of the Villainous Swan on the corner next to the Common. You walk across it and recognise the sign of the swan with its weird eyebrows.
Yeah.
Quinlan says, "Well, Rowe, should we go in?
Yes, let's do it. Let's go see my girl Emma.
Come on." So she enters. Inside, you find
Am I right?
Can I just say, I've always loved your Foley work. You're really good. Like,
It's a creaky door, notoriously creaky at the Villainous Swan.
it is. Didn't you promise to...
I haven't had the opportunity yet.
Okay.
I could.
Emma is... So the common room is empty apart from Emma, who in a huge armchair, which is like next to the fire, and she's like asleep with her feet up on a big... what do you call it? Like a footstool. And this is obviously where, having cleaned up for the evening, this is where she's kind of ended up for the night. She's snoring loudly.
Okay, so I think I'm going to walk. I don't want to wake up Emma, actually, but I do want a Bloody Mary or her special drink. So I'm actually just going to take a quick look behind the bar.
So you're walking quietly?
Well, like
to
I'm going to
avoid-
walk up to the bar and lean over and see if I can see the ingredients sitting there or any kind of a recipe book or anything like that.
So if you're trying not to wake her, I'm going to assume you're walking quietly. So I'm going to take a little stealth roll off you.
Okay, let me do that. That's a natural 20.
That is indeed a natural 20. Okay. So, I mean, you're incredibly successful. You walk with the grace of a cat through the creaky floors of the common room, but manage to avoid every squeaky floorboard and find yourself at the bar, where, sitting on the other side, you can see a small jug of red juice, a bottle of white spirits, all prepared
Wow.
with a number
Is
of
that on account of
herbs.
my natural 20? Am I getting some, like,
I
petty
think,
ingredients?
I think this is, yeah. No, I mean, I think that Emma knows that this is a big day. People have been celebrating because they knew that they had the day off.
Right.
So it's like she set up her Bloody Mary station knowing that this morning's going to be quite a big one.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to gesture to Quinlan to be like, just take a seat. I got this.
Okay, so...
And first of all, I'll get out a... Do I remember how much they cost? No, Franny bought them last time. I'll get out like 2 silver.
That seems that's like very generous.
Yeah, I'll get a 1 silver then, because I'm not so familiar with the economy here. But I'll put a silver on the bar.
I think that's a very generous offer for 2 drinks. So that's
okay,
fair.
cool. 1 silver, leave that on the bar, and then I'm just going to get to work making this cocktail. Try look for a glass. I'm going to have to guess the quantities, I suppose.
So just to be clear, you're not making. Are you trying to make Emma's famous drunkard's revenge?
No, I don't think so. I think I would have got one if she were here, but I don't think I'm going to attempt such a feisty drink.
So I will say that next in this line of in her prepped station, there are a number of flasks, bottles, and vials with various different, like, brown, bubbling, and kind of smoking ingredients that you don't entirely recognize.
I'll have a quick look around for, like, a recipe. Anything like that?
Okay. Okay, yeah, let's have you roll investigation.
Cool, I'll do it. It's high. It's a 18.
Okay, yeah, I think that's, yeah. So I think as you kind of, perhaps you've slipped behind the bar now, so you're not leaning over it. Under the bar, you find a very heavy, it's kind of somewhere between a club and a mace. It's like a black wood club with an iron band around its head. So it's obviously like Emma's got it there in case there's any particularly recalcitrant customers.
Wow.
And kind of tucked underneath it is an old black book with kind of pages stuck in. It's really thick and it's obviously been thumbed and ingredients spilled on it. So you take that out, flick through it, and eventually you find the recipe for the drunkard's revenge.
Okay, does it look difficult?
I've
I've made some drinks before. I grew up in a pub, as previously established, in an inn. I've made lots of drinks, so I have a bit of skill with it. How difficult is this drink to make?
Okay. Okay.
Using my backstory here.
Yeah, no, I like that. Did we establish that you grew up in an inn? I've kind of forgotten that.
Yeah, I guess
in
so.
notice board.
Yeah, so in notice board, I can't remember if I established it or not now I think about it. But I guess why not? Like, if I haven't established it, I'll establish it now. I grew up in my parents' inn. I think I did. So it's run by my mother, an orc, my father, a human, and it's in an inn in this notice board town.
In an inn?
It's in an inn.
Yeah.
And people would come through and I used to hang out with the travelers and work in this inn, my parents' inn, and then eventually I opened a notice board in this inn because lots of people would travel through.
That was your real
That was my
trade.
That was my trade. So, but that wasn't until I was, an adult, capable of adventure. But until then, I was waiting tables and making drinks.
And was it the stories of the travelers passing through that inculcated such a love of adventure?
It was.
Yeah,
it was, and also imbued Rowe with a love of magic.
Ah, well, it's really nice to just round out the character like that.
I think so. It's good, convenient. So, how hard is this drink for a man who's been making drinks his entire childhood?
Okay, so how we're going to resolve this is, yes, you've definitely got an advantage here. Both literal and metaphorical, from your deftly woven backstory.
Thank you.
I'll give you an advantage on this roll, but I think this recipe is somewhere between a magic spell and a recipe. So I'll get you to roll Arcana, I think.
Oh my god.
But with advantage, because I'm a merciful god.
You are. I mean, not that merciful. I have -1 on Arcana, so... okay, that's a 17.
Pretty good. Lucky that I gave you advantage.
Just as well. Oh my god.
Okay, so with it, you manage to work your way through the items. So it starts with the base of any good Bloody Mary. We have quite a generous portion of hot sauce.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of fancy equivalent of Tabasco. Bit of salt, bit of pepper, quite a lot of lemon juice.
Tabaxo? There's a race called Tabaxi? No, that doesn't work.
Yes.
Tabaxo?
Okay, no, we'll go with that. Tabaxi.
Okay.
Anyway, look. we've already established there's tomatoes, which is like post-Columbian exchange. This is not a real like medieval economy.
I just need a Bloody Mary.
Okay. So you have hot sauce, Tabasco, bit of salt and pepper, quite a lot of lemon juice.
Do you want to reveal this recipe to the listeners?
I
You don't want
I
this
do.
to go big.
Now, this is where it kind of goes a little bit exciting. Oh, we've got a little bit of beef stock. Oh, a little bit of roundness.
I can
You
see
like
that actually.
Then a little bit of pickle juice from some pickled jalapenos, which also go in there. It's starting to look like really thick.
Already,
now.
this just sounds like a regular Bloody Mary, but like awesome.
Yeah.
Awesomed up.
Then, okay, so we've got some pickled beans. We've got some celery in there. We've got some of the lemon. It's starting to like get really bulky with this like thick sludge at the bottom.
Yeah.
Then, this is where it starts to get interesting. The 2 drops of the Calabri Viper's venom.
Oh.
A little bit of that. Lovely.
What did it say? Has that got a little eyedropper tool?
Yeah, little eyedropper, exactly.
Yeah.
Couple of shakes of owlbear tears. Just kind of put them in there. Gives it a little bit of.
And they come out
going.
in a shake.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
You shake it,
dried
yeah.
owlbear tears.
Yeah, they're desiccated, dehydrated owlbear tears.
Yeah.
Now, this is where you get into the powders. You get some dried newt, just a little bit of that. One sprinkle. Some dragon scales. That's where it really gets that fire from. So you're actually also putting them in a little bit like the garnish. That's like floating in there. Just 1 or 2 dragon scales. And then
Truth.
the finishing touches is 1 final drop of basilisk eye drops.
Wow.
Just really, but like quite, what's the word? The opposite of concentrated. Deconcentrated. Diluted basilisk eye drops. And then you swish it all around. It's starting to, there's like purple smoke coming out of it. And then glug, 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 over the ice, big jug of tomato juice.
Does it look like how it looked when she made it for me?
I think it does, yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I think I feel confident about how I've done it. Because I'm about to serve this to Quinlan, who I think is probably not necessarily a big drinker.
No. Oh, and also, sorry, I didn't mention it, but quite a lot of vodka as well.
Oh, yes, the actually primary
ingredient.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take over these 2 kind of smoking tumblers with the foliage of the celery.
Is there enough? Did I make enough that there's some left?
Oh yeah, you made it in a pitcher. There's a little pewter pitcher, so you've got 2
I'd like
glasses.
to pour what's remaining into a smaller glass, and I'm going to pop it over by Emma on the table next to her.
Oh, that's lovely. That's a nice little gesture. Yeah,
I think she might need it.
Okay, so so Quinlan picks up her pewter tumbler and says, cheers, Rowe. I hope you got this right.
I'm sure I did, Quinlan.
Chink, chink. Glug, glug, glug.
Glug, glug, glug.
And then you feel that familiar fire, and then
Yeah.
there's that fireball that you know and
Do we
love.
both do it together?
Yeah,
And is
it
it
does.
bonding?
It is. It's really
It is
bonding.
bonding.
And as you're both looking up at the ceiling, like, you do notice that there's, like, the ceiling is just, like, covered in these little rosettes, these little burnt rosettes from where people have had the signature Drunkard's Revenge in Emma's Tavern. It's nice.
That is nice. That makes sense.
And you feel your so it's been an exhausting night, and you really feel your fibers being refreshed, and you're ready for another long day. If you had any particular wounds, I believe that they're cured.
I don't have any wounds, but I think I've used some spell slots. So should I just take the equivalent of
A short rest.
A short rest. Okay, cool. I'll use my D&D Beyond.
Quentin says, "Oh, Ro, that feels really nice. You know, I've actually had a drink in quite a while. It's lovely, actually, isn't it? You just feel that fire going through you."
You're not a big drinker, Quinlan?
I was. Less so
okay.
these days. Less so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't need another one.
Yeah, I mean, this drink's kind of. I feel like it's a bit of an exception. It's more of a. It's a utility for adventure. This drink.
It's true.
Because I need to chase a goat now.
You do.
So, I mean, or at least check that situation out. So I want to be ready for action.
All right. Well, should we go and see the burgomaster?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So you get up. Maybe Quinlan takes your dirties over to the bar, leaves them there, and you tiptoe your way out. Emma kind of turns over and what's the word for that? You know, just
shuffles in.
She
her
just
sleep.
shuffles in her
She's
sleep. Yeah,
readjusts.
exactly.
Okay.
And as you once again, you're not the only one who could do squeaky noises, buddy.
No, not at all.
And you find yourself out in the town square where various different preparations have advanced. So all of the bunting is up, black and white, flags kind of rippling in the wind. People are laying out tables for the feast. And you can see right in the center of the square is a huge black cage.
Whoa.
And it's kind of wood-sided, so that it's metal bounded wood. So it's really intense, but you can't really see inside. But you can hear these you can hear like banging and shaking and the clattering of knives from within.
Jesus.
Beside it, you can see, so there's a couple of kind of rustic-looking fellows who've obviously brought the cage in. They're there with their cart, and next to them is a man in a rich, deep blue robe with a gold chain around his neck, a chain of office, and a very stupid, like one of those like stupid hats that academics wear, where they're kind of like bulgy and then they drop down with like a feather in them.
Right.
Do you know the ones I mean?
Yeah.
Like a stupid olden days hat.
Yeah.
That's what he's wearing.
God.
And he's talking kind of seriously with the men who've brought the goat over.
The goat bringers.
The goat, yeah. So it's actually Goatbringer and Sons goat delivery services.
In gold writing on the side of
Yeah.
the cage, Goatbringer and Sons. I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go straight up to him. And say, "Hey there, Burgomaster. I presume. What is it? Tibbletrod? Tibbletrod?
Hello. Yes. Yes. I'm Lord Timbletrad. Who I. Sorry. I don't.
Name's Rowe.
Rowe. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to Kidneystone on this wonderful day. Very pleased to have you here. Are you a visitor to our town for the festival? It's great for the tourist industry.
Well, I mean, I'm not here for the festival. I'm actually from Noticeboard nearby. You've probably heard of it.
Noticeboard,
Neighbouring town.
Yes. Do give my love to. Is it Mayor Kano? Kano, yes.
Yeah, Kano. Yeah. He's a good guy.
Yes. Good man. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's wonderful to see local tourism. The industry's really kind of booming at the moment. I mean, obviously over at the, I mean, what those fellows are doing down at the Temple of Shadows is really quite interesting as well, obviously. And I really feel the local economy is booming because of it.
Temple of Shadows? What's that?
The Temple of Shadows. Sorry, if you continue out of town, to the south, just past my house there on the south side of the square. Can you see that? I mean, it's quite an ominous looking building. I'll give you that. I mean, it's an old building, but the priests have assured me that well, actually, they believe in they believe in experiences, and they've put together a real package which is bringing exciting new opportunities to this underinvested in area of the coast, and I'm very glad to see it. Anyway, if you're interested in any of their package deals, they're calling it Portal Tours, and I haven't been involved myself, but there's some great tax taking coming out of it, and I do recommend you go and talk to them because they're a vital part of our local tourism offer.
Right. Well, that sounds to me shady as fuck. We need to talk.
No, not shady. The Temple of Shadows.
Shadowy.
Yes.
Does the name not make you wonder? Temple of Shadows.
Yeah, I mean, as in, shadows.
Yeah, shadows are bad.
I mean, I mean, you say that, but if it was a hot day, where would you rather be sitting? In the shadows or in the burning sun?
If they had called it Temple of Shade, maybe I would feel differently.
Do you know what? That's a really interesting. I might go and have a word with the high priest. What's his name? That's right, the Black Heart. I might have a word with him.
Again, I gotta tell you, that's a bit of a red flag for me.
Well, no, he told me it was because he said that it's an ancient title which refers to the black heart of a tree, the heart of a burnt out, twisted and gnarled oak, which is the ancient symbol of that old superstitious nonsense. Believe me, they're bringing jobs to the area. Wonderful bunch of chaps. They've got some brochures. They're just sitting outside on the flipboard outside the temple.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna check that out. That's quite important, actually. But we've got a bit of a matter of. You seem to be a businessman. We have a matter of business to discuss.
I am
here.
a businessman. So
I've seen the flyers up. There's a reward, isn't there, for information about the people who are missing?
There is. That is right. We can't.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the Temple of Shadows.
Old nonsense. I've heard. It's other jealous business people jealous of the jobs that they're bringing into the region. Don't you pay it any mind. I've had a long talk with the Black Heart.
The Black Heart.
Yeah, and
yeah.
he tells me that him and the lovely boys, his what does he call them? The accursed ones, are
Dear God.
They are just a lovely bunch of lads. So don't pay it any mind.
Yeah, charming, I'm sure. So, okay, well, I have information based on that, but I'm worried you might only pay for the information that you want, to be honest.
Look, one doesn't get to be the burgomaster of one of the fastest growing small to medium sized towns in the coasts of the Pretty Flower Coast.
All right.
This is what this area is called.
The Pretty Flower Coast.
The Pretty Flower Coast.
I mean, I've been living here all my life. So.
Of course you know, but so you know the whole Pretty Flower Coast area.
Absolutely, very familiar.
And one doesn't get to rise to such a position without a very keen business sense and a reputation for scrupulous honesty.
Okay, so I'm worried what I'm going to tell you you're not going to like. I know where the people who are missing have gone.
Why didn't you say, friend Rowe? And are you with Quenlin? Quenlin. Hello there. How are you? I'm good, thank you. Bit thirsty at the moment. Rowe, do you mind just dealing with the burgomaster? I'm just going to nip back in.
No, I mean, it's only fair if we both talk.
Okay. Just yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll stay.
No,
for a second.
please stick around.
Okay. Thank you. I will. Anyway, burgomaster, Lord Timbertrad.
No, I got this. Don't worry.
Okay.
I don't want you to have to speak as two characters. Have a monologue with yourself.
No, I love that.
Okay, no, I mean, just for the listeners.
Freddie,
I know they want to hear
takeover.
the authentic Rowe voice.
We started with two people. People said it was crazy. Now it's just going to be me doing all the voices to myself. While you watch.
You're pushing me out of my own podcast. God damn it. Okay, so here's what we know. And you have to promise me you just need information for this payout, right? Because if you're not going to pay out, I may as well just solve this thing myself.
If the information is credible, I will pay. But I will not fall for one of your cockamamie stories. So come on, let's hear it, friend Rowe. Let's hear it.
So I know, for example, there is a portal in the forest. Perhaps you know about it, given that the Temple of Shadows are offering portal tours.
I believe that's just a marketing thing.
No, there's a real portal.
What interesting technology is revolutionizing and just disrupting the local tourism industry? It's fascinating stuff.
Rock-based technology.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Fascinating.
So someone has been coming through the portal and taking people from Kidneystone and kidnapping them and taking them through to Shadowfell, I believe. And do you know what? Shadowfell? Temple of Shadows? It sounds kind of suspicious to me.
I mean, it does seem on the surface of it a link.
I mean, I know you're a businessman
I am.
of a small to medium-sized town,
In a growing area.
but the town's going to be very small indeed if you let people go
Disappear.
kidnapped every day from here in
Okay, this
Kidneystone. It's like, I get it. There's business to be had, and I'm here for business myself. 100 gold, please. But, you know, you have to look into this. This is important.
Okay, I will get you, friend Freddy, to roll. Why do I keep on saying friend? I'd like you to
Because
roll.
we're friends.
You are actually my friend.
Aw.
Would you roll persuasion for me?
Persuasion. I will, and it's going to be a 17.
I think that's a pretty good roll, honestly, dude. I think he says, what does he say? The Burgomaster looks and he says, well, this is, I mean, the portal you've described does sound a bit ominous.
I could show you it. It's there.
No need for that. I've got quite a lot. We're releasing a murderous goat for some reason. I've got quite a lot to organise. It's a tradition. And you know the you've noticed there's a lot of tourists around who love to go running with the chubby goat.
Yeah, I mean that's such a tourist thing to do. only tourists would do that.
So I will pay you. Here's your 100 gold. Thank you for information. I will investigate this, but I'm not ready for this sort of scurrilous rumors against local business owners without a little bit more proof. And friend, if you can get me that, well, I tell you, I will come down with the full sanction of the local business council upon, I might even withdraw their tourist permit. But I need serious proof for that.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I will look into it. I certainly mean to, and I'll be here for the next day or so at least. I at least want to look at the festival. So.
It's going. We're still looking for our champion. You're not interested, are you?
Maybe. I'm kind of in two minds about it, but I mean, yes, definitely I'm interested, and I would like to chase this goat. Doesn't feel quite right, but also it sounds like a bloody good challenge.
He is a real bastard. I hate that goat.
Yeah, well, don't worry. Maybe I'll get him. Is there a reward? Well, like, what's the prize for getting the goat? This has been happening for centuries. I assume there's some kind of prize involved.
There is a prize involved. It's a very wonderful prize. The owner gets to name the next year's goat.
Oh. But they're hailed as a hero.
Oh, of course, yeah. And, I mean, obviously they get a sack full of diamonds, but... Oh, the real honor's in the goat naming.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd love to name that goat. How big a sack?
I mean, about, it kind of pulls it out. I think it's worth about, let's say, 200
diamonds.
Gold pieces worth of diamonds.
Okay.
And he says, here it is. Ha ha. To the winner shall go the spoils.
Quite a small sack.
Well, I mean, it is enough to get the tourists in. It's quite amazing. It's not a huge prize, but at the same time, they come from miles around. You should see the money this brings into the local economy is truly just wonderful. Much more than this small sack of diamonds.
You're very driven by money, aren't you, Lord Tibbletrad?
It's not so much money. It's more about investment and a booming local economy and real jobs for local people.
Yeah.
Or is that local jobs for real people? I can never remember.
Jobs at any rate.
Fake jobs for real people.
Okay, yeah, well, nice to meet you. Thanks for the gold. Glad you stuck to your word there. And I'll see you at the goat chasing.
Bro, don't cause any trouble, all right?
I mean, there will be trouble if you're a goat.
Look, I'm not above impounding people.
For what?
Well,
What do you think I'm going to do?
well, disrupt this important local festival?
Disrupt it by going in there and winning it?
Well, that would disrupt it. You're welcome to do that, Rowe. Just be careful.
I'm always careful.
Well, I'm always careful to see that people are careful.
Well, I'm always being extra careful to notice careful people around me being careful.
Well,
And I'm really careful about it.
Careful. I'll carefully check that, have a care that you're being careful.
I do care that you're being careful.
Well, I
And
care
if you'd
as
care
well.
to just watch out.
Have a care.
Yeah. Help yourself to one care.
I will. I'll crack open a crate of care.
Have a care full of cares if you want.
I will.
Okay.
Take a chair.
And I'm
have a
slowly
care.
backing away as I say this. And yeah, I do care to see you again.
I care!
I care as
Yells
well
you
about
go.
this town. And I walk away.
Okay, so the two of you make your way over to a shady bit of the corner of the market square where the village common is. You can see the lake in the background. I think you maybe just sit under the tree and watch the preparations happen.
Yeah, nice to watch that unfold.
Yeah, which is literally there is unfolding, banners, tables. You love a folding, don't you?
I like to see things folded more than unfolded, but unfolding's all I can get right now. So
That's
fine.
interesting because I'm much more to like folding, take it or leave it, but unfolding, you've got my attention.
Right. Good folding to me is where it's at. It's impressive.
See, for me, origami, bullshit. Don't care.
Breaking up origami.
Love it.
That's where it's at. Yeah.
Okay, so from where you're sitting under the tree, you see things unfolded, things unpacked, and pretty soon the entire town is ready for the feast day. You can see people in their black and white clothing with the goats of
Goatee
the
belt.
goat hair belts. You see a lot of tourists who are kind of pretty excited and talking loudly in a different language. There's some goblins yelling at each other and being rude, and some drunk dwarves, and it's a real festival atmosphere out there. It's a real festival atmosphere out there.
Like this character again.
Yeah.
I don't think he was going to make it into the podcast as a regular, but here he is. Announcer Sam.
Yeah. And I think, so there's a couple of things that you notice. So certain alleyways have been blocked off. So they're trying to, like, straight away, they're trying to herd the goat. They've also
Right.
put, like, carts and kind of barricades around the edges of the village. So they're trying to, like, kind of keep it contained a bit. So this is only going down inside the village.
Right.
Also, all of the feast preparations, so these long tables with white tablecloths on them, they're kind of nailed down. Like,
Oh my
because
god.
they've obviously experienced what happens when most of the running with the goat happens in other parts of the village. But if it happens in the market square, things get tipped over.
Yeah.
And then when
yeah,
they try and
yeah.
have the feast at the end, it's just a lot of mess. So
And you've got a fat goat. Like, it's going to want to go to the market square, I would
he's
think.
chubby. He's not fat. Like
Okay, sorry. That was insensitive.
it was actually. Don't fat shame my goat.
Big boned goat.
All right, so the mayor, who's changed the blue robe that you saw him in later, and he's now kind of uncomfortable in the more kind of peasant outfit of these kind of white clothing with the goat hair, but
Right.
he's kept his
Do you
stupid
still have his hat? Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet he fucking does.
Yeah. Anyway, he's standing up and he's got his gold chain on, and he says, welcome one and all, locals, tourists, those who've joined us for the wonderful, authentic festival, local festival of the Festival of the Chubby Goat.
Yeah.
Spattered applause. You see a crowd kind of come out of Emma's...
Show us the goat.
we will, my good man. A crowd has kind of come out of the Villainous Swan. They're red stained around their mouth. A few of them have kind of burns on their clothing from some...
Singed hair.
Yeah. But very few of them have eyebrows.
Their bangs are ruined.
Yeah. From where they've been enjoying a few drunken's revenge in preparation. You see Emma with her blonde plaits, sort of a little bit singed themselves, looking
Classic
a bit grumpy.
Emma.
And as she hustles the last people out, you see her like start to like hammer nails over the door of the inn. She knows what
She's
happens when
once bitten, twice shy, I think.
once the goat gets inside. It's a real nightmare to get him out. All right, so the mayor stands up in front and he says, "So all potential champions, please step forward."
Yeah, I'm going to definitely step forward.
Okay, and so into a ring around the box steps a bunch of braves and bravos and hunky dories.
Tell me about some of them.
Okay, so who is there? So there's one guy kind of leans over and introduces himself. He goes, "Big Rog, yeah, I'm a local guy. Was actually champion once back in it was 25 years ago, and I've really been chasing that high ever since." He's got quite a lot of scars on him.
Yeah, I bet.
So he's wearing his festival outfit, which has obviously seen better days because it's patched where it's been slashed up in previous years. And it was also obviously made for a man who was 20 years younger and about 30 kgs lighter. He's kind of
Right.
straining at buttons, but Roger's in it. He's in it to win it.
All right, got to watch out for old Roger.
There's also a very serious looking human barbarian who's 6.5 foot tall. He's massive. And he's just wearing the usual barbarian regalia with the skins and the loincloth
Yeah, I
and
know
the
the
skulls. And he's kind of slightly grudgingly put on a black bandana and
Does he have the
thing.
belt of...
He's got
Yes?
the belt. That actually kind of doesn't look out of place
Yeah.
with his skulls thing. There's also, there's a real split in the potential champions. Those who are clearly going for brawn, and then there's a few more who are kind of going for speed or stealth, and a little bit whippier. Some very interesting. There's a young lady who's stretching. She's a hometown champion by the name of Anatha. Anatha. And she's stretching. She's got very short hair. And you're looking at her move and you're like, she's quick. Like, she really does look like she might be a threat in this.
Does she have... What, does she got, like a bow or something? Does she have a weapon?
No, so no one's got weapons. I mean, this is the
it's...
thing.
okay.
I mean, the goat's armed. You're not.
It's good for me. I don't have any good weapons yet, so it's fine.
Yeah, so, in fact, there's a small bin in the center where, as soon as you step into the circle, where you can see the barbarian. He's putting his club in, and you've actually got to
Put my shit dagger in there.
Yeah, you got to put your shit dagger and your hand axe.
Yeah, fine. Take them.
Okay, so you're de-weaponed for the moment.
What are the rules on magic? Does the mayor announce the rules?
The mayor does announce the rules. Good of you to prompt what was going to happen anyway, by the way.
Yeah, I just take it.
I will remind you of the ancient rules of our local customs. So, no weapons, none at all. No direct magic. So you can't knock the goat down, but you are allowed to trick it, or there's other kind of little ways that you can use it, and you can use magic.
No
on
damaging,
yourself.
offensive magic.
No damaging attacks.
Okay.
The goat may not be harmed in the making of this festival until, of course, we cut it up and eat it later on.
Oh, that'll feed many people.
Okay, so everyone got rid of your weapons. Now, remember, you have to catch it. We release it at midday, and it has to be captured by dusk, or the goat goes free.
Right.
I mean, we take the knives off. It would be insane not to. He's already a murderous bastard.
Becomes a carnivorous goat.
I'd now like to bring up my good friend, who's called Rafe. It is Rafe, isn't it? Come up here, Rafe. And a young man with only one arm, one leg, and his right hand has been cut off at the wrist, kind of like hobbles up onto the stage, and he's also wearing the outfit, and he says, "Yes, this is Rafe, who won last year and now has the honor of naming this year's champion. Rafe, what is the name of this year's chubby goat?" And Rafe leans in and says, "This year's goat is named Bone Jelly."
Bone jelly.
May the many gods of the pretty foul coast have mercy upon your souls, champions. And he limps off, and you see him limping off towards a building on the other side of the square, which he goes into before slamming the door, and you hear the sound of nailing.
Oh, he's nailing himself in.
Yeah, he's not part of the festival. He has lost too much to these bloody goats.
I didn't anticipate being so terrified of this goat.
It's
Jesus
good, isn't it?
Christ, it's called Bone Jelly.
That's a good name, isn't
That's
it?
a
I
good
like
name.
that.
Well done.
Thank you. All right, so the mayor says, well, just one moment, I'll go to my referee's tower. The mayor goes and climbs into a metal edifice, which is it's kind of a bit like, are you familiar with kind of like birdwatchers' towers?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like somewhere between a birdwatcher's tower and an umpire's chair.
Right.
And it's made of wood, but most of it has been kind of encased with metal, and it's been nailed in, and there's kind of a bit of a cage up the top, which he climbs into, and then kind of locks the door and says, all right, champions, everyone go and hand on the cage. Hand on the cage, everyone.
I put my hand on the cage.
Okay, so now you and there's about a dozen potential champions, all with your hands on the cage, and with the flick of a switch, there's a countdown. 3, 2, 1, let it go! And the Goatbringers and Sons, who are on the other side of the square, release a switch, which causes a rope to whiz up into a pulley, which launches the cage directly upwards, and suddenly, in the midst of the champions,
Oh my God.
So the thing that hits you first is the smell. So you know that goat smell. It's like this thick, redolent, quite kind of powerfully,
It doesn't give a fuck, this goat.
Yeah, and he is huge. He is a big goat. He's not just chubby, but he's quite well muscled as well. It's like that thing where, when bodybuilders kind of where The Rock will be in 10 years when he kind of lets it go a bit. And it's this solid core of muscle, but he's kind of thick around the middle. And this thick black hair, which is kind of grey at the edges and just kind of hangs off him.
Ugh.
And he is just covered in knives.
Oh my God, are they going to damage him?
No, he's fine. So what the situation is, 2 huge curling grey horns, 2 huge knives stuck on them.
Wow.
Knives. On his forehead, a knife sticking forward.
Jesus.
On his feet, little kind of booties. You guessed it. There's knives on them.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was just nice little booties. Oh, okay, at least that's not so bad.
And then kind of around his midriff and along his spine. So he's kind of got a harness on him. What it has, and through the cunning artisanship of Goatbringer and Sons, they've kind of rigged up knives all along his spine, so he looks a bit like a stegosaurus. And then another ring around his kind of shoulders laterally.
Jeez.
So basically, he's knifed up. He's got a shank or 2. The cage is removed. The light is glinting off the knives, which literally surround this big, black, dangerous presence. His curling horns pointing forward, tipped in knives. His red eyes look around the circle. Breath puffs out of his nose as he snorts in just pure demonic anger. His knife-tipped hooves strike sparks along the cobbles of the market square.
Jeez.
And he turns his red eyes on you.
Ooh. Woo! All right, well, that was Flip Flop Tabletop Episode 3. Dear God, what is Rowe gonna do?
Yeah. You do get... I like to throw quite a lot of animals in your path.
Yeah. Give them find an adjective, pick an animal, boom. We got ourselves a campaign.
I'm really liking this goat, though.
God, he sounds terrifying. I'm actually...
Bone jelly. Ugh.
Bone jelly, he's demonic, he's sparking on the ground. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So what do you think your Oh, you...
It doesn't matter. It's up to you
It's
now.
up to
Actually,
me, yeah.
I'm kind of actually relieved I made it through. I didn't die
Yeah.
from this goat. Now you've got to work him out. I'm gonna really crank him up too.
Yeah, what, you're going to give him magic.
You think his 2 front paws were knives. The back 2 magic wands.
And he's got a cannon on his shoulder. Did I mention that?
Yeah.
Well, exciting stuff. I mean, I feel like the mystery is unfolding a bit. What is going on with these possibly ominous travel agents?
No, they're probably fine.
I think they're fine. I really think it's a misunderstanding.
Really good for the tourism industry.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is really important it's the lifeblood of small communities in rural areas like the Pretty Flower Coast.
The Pretty Flower.
The Pretty Flower Coast. That's canonically now the name of the region.
Brilliant. All right. Well, thank you all for listening.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see you next time.
Goodbye. Bye.